What's up, people?
Great ball, sent cross. Yeah! Thank you! It's the stuff of dreams! Dreams, man! Live it up, blue boy! Live it up!
Feeling heart of the underground. No one to chase me around. I wanna throw my head.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. Let me sort a little bit of stuff out here first. Let's see. Let's get this going. Oh, look at that. Pro. Super pro. I'm Mark Mulv. I'm off the Noisy Neighbors podcast. Tonight, over here, off Shades of Blue podcast, hashtag Shady Gang, it's my mate, Crunk Chocolate.
Let's go. What's up?
How are you, pal?
I'm good.
Good.
I appreciate you having me on. What is up, noisy neighbor world? It's crazy. I checked the chats real quick, and man, you got people who announce that they're there first, like that. That's a thing. It's like
That's new.
Staking a flag. That's some bullshit.
Nah, it's a real pleasure to have you on, mate. I've been a real big fan of your show. You and the other lads. One of the newer content creators for City over here in the States. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, mate. I've had Tarek on. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
That went really well. People really enjoyed his contribution, and as I'm sure they will enjoy yours tonight. So, yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? My lovely wife has chimed in saying hello to you. So,
Hey, Jules.
yeah, brilliant. I would like to first tell you a quick funny story. So I first met Crunk in Houston, face to face, yeah, when City played down there, and I just so happened that my entire family went with me. Even my sainted mother was there. So she's just a little old lady from Oldham, England, and I remember you being there, my mum just being off to the side and thinking, should I introduce him to my mum, right? And I backed out because I got into my own head, right?
Oh
So I'm gonna walk.
no!
I'm gonna go tell my mum that this is crunk chocolate,
Please,
right? Right?
yeah, I
And
would have loved to
she'll
meet
go.
Mama Move.
She'll go. I'm sorry. What was his name again? It's mum. It's crunk chocolate. And she was gonna. I swear to you, not. She was gonna go. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Chocolate. And and I was gonna have to just run out of there as fast as I could.
Honestly, a joy of mine that I have learned is having the English experience the word name
Yeah,
moniker crunk chocolate for the first time, and then their brains just trying to like wrap all of it, and
yeah,
it's like what are these words, why are they together, and someone is actually using that as a name of theirs, and it's just like, yeah, I am.
yeah. Two reasons. One, it's very hard to pronounce for an English person. Okay. And two, we don't know what it means. So,
But
anyways, yeah, no, that was my first experience with meeting you. And in England we call it bottling it when you
yes, yes, yes.
give up on
Yes.
something
Future
because
reference, I would love to meet Mama Mauve. Yeah, it would be great. I'm a hugger. If she's not a hugger, we can do a little dab, you know.
oh
I'm big into family.
she's a hugger. She's a hugger.
Yes, yes,
I've got
yes.
my noisy pot. I've got a cup of tea going. Big news out of England today. We lost Queen Elizabeth today, so I thought I'd have a cup of English tea. Yeah, so rest in peace, the Queen.
And I am
What are
to
you on,
my
pal?
drinking some Paulaner Pilsners.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Something light, and I can just like smash. I'm just
Yeah.
ready, bro. Yeah.
So we're gonna focus this live stream on Spurs, who we may or may not play on Saturday. Actually, have you seen the news?
I think I saw something on Google. Yeah.
Yeah, they have already cancelled Friday's not EPL but league. What do they call it? Championship games, or the FA has cancelled 2 games on Friday tomorrow already, in a way to
For the Queen?
yeah, mark of respect. They're calling it for the Queen. Fair enough. Interesting.
Is the funeral on Friday?
No, the funeral will likely be next weekend. Is what I'm hearing. But next weekend, I believe, is international break for the Premier League. So
That works better.
for
Yeah.
what it's worth, there's not a conflict. So this is where you'll find that the chat can be very, very helpful, because they can tell you breaking news as it's happening. So Jacob Levitz is suggesting leading towards no game, I fear. That's our mate out of Dallas, or the Dallas area. And then another lad out of Dallas, Hoops Collector, is saying all of the EFL games. So I suppose our match against Spurs is in doubt at the moment. I mean, let's be candid. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, we're Americans, right? I mean, I certainly have some English heritage. Candidly, I'm not a huge fan of royals and royalty and all that. I think it's quite a problematic thing to still exist in this day and age. But what's your reaction, just as an American guy, if they were to cancel it?
So I'm happy you said it first, and if I gave my honest and just started talking, I would alienate half of your people. So it's not even
okay.
So I'm just not. I don't understand why, if they cancel all these games, it's ridiculous. Bro, come on now.
I always feel like there's a way to. Okay, so sometimes somebody passes away, there's a tragedy of to some degree, and there's a football game on, and they either will ask for a minute's silence, right? They'll do that, or they'll ask for, because sometimes they're afraid that the minute's silence can be interrupted by a handful of idiots, right, who decide that's their moment to make some noise. So in lieu of doing the minute's silence, they'll do a minute's round of applause, just to mark the occasion, just to honor whoever was impacted, what have you. So in that respect, I almost feel like play the games in her honor. You know what I mean?
Like put like patches.
Yeah,
like,
do it
instead
up
of doing
big.
1 minute applause, do like 5 minutes of applause, 10 minutes of applause.
Yeah.
Like, make it the most grand week of football ever. Like do the opposite. Like camp this shit up. Like have everyone make fucking new jerseys out of thin air. Like do stupid things like that. Like you're royalty. You're supposed to be grand and go out with a bang. And so it's just gonna be silent in England. Like what's everybody gonna do?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
What are you gonna do? That's an honest question. Like, can all the pubs fit everybody when everybody has nothing to do? Like
good. That is a good question. Yeah. I don't know, mate. Anyway, but I was very curious to your opinion, because mine is play the games.
Please, like, bro, I feel like that's a great honor. That would be a fantastic honor. Like I said, like make patches, like have the halftime show, like wrestling, like have those, like 4 minutes. Like I'm just saying, like, I'm in like the NBC halftime show.
Okay.
Like halftime show, like the Champions League nonsense. Like, no, I don't mean like that. I just mean like, when on NBC and they're all like chatting, like have like a 2-minute video of her greatest hits, if there are any. I don't know. I'm not English. I don't know what they do. So,
understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, here's some interesting information from Chris Hernandez. There is a history of the First Division English soccer playing after the Monarch passes. Well, she's been the Monarch for as long as I've been alive, I believe. So, I would never have seen this. So I'll have to take Chris's word for
Prove
it.
it. Send a link.
Oh, and Adam makes a good point. And I suppose, and this is from a slightly selfish perspective of football fans, right? And football, anybody involved in it, is we've already got a wicked cramped schedule.
When are they going to fit that in?
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness.
They're going to end up playing until July.
Okay. Well, there you go. Those are our thoughts on whether we should play this game Saturday. I hope they do. Although I may regret that at the final whistle. Because it is Spurs, of course. So let's talk about Spurs. Well, no, you know what? Before we do that, while I've got you on, I'm interested in just your very general, high-level thoughts on how City's start of the season has gone. And I'm going to give you some stats. So City are in second place, mate, on 14 points. First place is Arsenal on 15. So we're just one behind the leaders, Arsenal, who have started really well. Our goal difference is the best in the Premier League, 14. For some comparison, Manchester United's is 0.
Love it.
Liverpool's is 9, but didn't they beat somebody by 9? Didn't they beat somebody 9-0?
I think that happened. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to that team.
Oh, good for you. No, they did beat somebody 9-0.
Yeah, they did.
So if you take that away, they're also at 0. So here's Stanley saying hello. Hi Stanley.
Hey, what else, dude? My guy.
Yeah,
He,
he's the best.
yes, he
He's the
is.
best. So we've won 4 matches, drawn 2. We've yet to lose. Um, has the season started better or worse than you would have liked?
Honestly, better. Technically, we're
Oh,
undefeated.
yeah.
I mean, I expected them to be playing great. I expected Holland to be killing it. Kevin he's just picked up and been running all season. It wasn't a slow start like last year's.
Yep.
The team is gelled. I was worried about injuries, and Pep loves his like small size. The big thing, there were like 2 big questions at the end of last season that I asked the podcast, and one
Hmm.
was, will Pep use these subs? And they all said a resounding yes, and so far it has been a resounding yes. And the other was, will Pep replace all the people who are leaving? And they were like, no one's leaving. And I was like, a lot of people are leaving. And so
Yeah.
that happened, and the team is still small. But the players, I feel like, I think he trusts everyone a lot more than this year
Yep.
than he does last year. And the teams are playing great, and KDB is everybody's finding Holland out of nowhere, and he's creating these goals, and they look good. And this is technically them rusty, right? So I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And those are good questions that you asked your panel. I think I would have sided with them as well
Yeah,
when I didn't think that many players were going to leave. Um, but I think man for man, we've sold the same number of first team players that we've brought in, so the squad size is probably the same.
yeah,
Although you've got some youngsters now that are right on the threshold.
hmm,
Cole Palmer is one. Um, I love the two fullbacks,
yes,
um, Rico Lewis
yes,
and Josh Wilson Esbrand. I think there's some real talent
they're
there.
great. Yeah,
So while a lot of people are focused on the fullback position, and maybe they're right, but those two back there do give me some confidence should we have an injury crisis there. So
yeah,
um,
definitely.
okay, the chat is already popping off on the disallowed goal at Villa. Quite funny. Let's see what Samro has said here. In Mexico, we have our trophy tour event this Saturday. It's a selfish thought, but it won't be the same without the game against Tottenham.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Trophy tour. So I assume, does that mean City are bringing the trophy to see you? Because that
I
is,
love that. If that's a
yeah,
thing, that's boss. That's some cool
yeah.
stuff. I love that.
That's
They're just like, you get to see the trophy. You get to see the trophy.
yeah.
And that's really, they're they're being so helpful at trying to help Americans connect
Mhm.
with a European team as many ways as possible. And
Yep.
like a photo with the trophy, like, you call us plastic all you want, motherfuckers. Do you have a photo with the trophy? Probably not. So it's like,
You probably have a photo with our trophy,
yeah.
which is even funnier. No, what I like your point there, mate, because a lot of people, as they're getting into Premier League football over here,
Mhm.
um, they're starting to do it with their friends. I've heard a lot of stories of guys getting into it or girls getting into it and picking. They're like all a group of friends will all pick a different team. Do you know what I mean? So that they can all get into it together.
That
But
would be
they
fun.
they don't want to be all on the same team. They don't
Yeah.
see that as fun. They see the banter and the rivalry
Yes.
as something.
That is the best part. It
Yeah,
really is.
and I think they feel it'll make the experience better for them, and they'll enjoy it more, which is cool. Um, but when the person who picked Man City gets the picture with the trophy and gets to lord it over the rest of the group, you know, that's something else. That's something else.
Except for you saw it in Houston, there were people who weren't City fans who showed up to take a photo with the trophy. So you don't necessarily have to support City for this tour
Nope.
to get your photo with the trophy. Just, I guess, take the opportunity if you can get it, and if you have no shame. No shame. I'm saying
You
it.
You
have
already
to.
know. You already know. I got a picture of the Liverpool fan with our
Yeah,
trophy.
bro, no shame. Like that was a long line, bro. He waited for a while to get that photo, and so
Yeah.
you're just standing there awkwardly while around all these City fans, just shaking their head, pointing at you, and their phones pointing. Like you deserve all of this shame right now. Why are you here? Why are you here?
That was great. It was great. Good evening to Johnny Lara. How are you, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Um, Johnny Metallica is also in the house. What's up, mate? He's late again, as always. Uh, the blue LOL,
Oh,
is that what that is? The blue LOL?
it looks like it. Or yeah,
I'm not
IOI.
sure. Or the blue
Oh.
knife and fork and plate in the middle? I have no
Ooh,
idea.
the Blue Chef. What is this?
The
Oh,
blue
let us
chef, yeah.
know. Okay.
What's up, blue chef from the Houston Space Citizens? Barney's back. What's up, mate? The Queen is dead. Long live Erling Haaland.
I mean, I'll cheers to that, I guess.
Oh dear.
We do it for the for the content, baby. Content.
Oh shoot.
But also the reason why I thought players were going to be leaving is those were some hungry players. I think that's why we were able to repeat in the first place, because everyone was fighting for a place, and the team's been together for a very long time. And just as an American sports fan, there are so many sports that we pay attention to, and I'm not saying you guys don't, but there's like normally there's like I feel like you guys there's one, it's like soccer, cricket. I mean, and you can pay attention to both, but Americans, we have no like real loyalty, so we're like, yeah, we like all these teams and we glory hunt and I'll just use your guys' words and stuff like that. And so I just base a lot of my watching U.S. sports, and I just mishmash that into the English sport. And I know it doesn't work all the way, but there's a lot of money coming into into the Premier League, so it's becoming more and more like American sports. And also, athletes are athletes, so they wanted to do something, and I knew there were going to be a lot of players who wanted to leave. I wasn't sure exactly who. I knew Sterling was leaving for sure, but I
Yeah.
thought, and I was hoping that was Real, but
Yeah.
because I just wanted him gone, like get out of this league. And now we have to watch him at Chelsea and like stink it up. It's like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah, it's tough to see him at Chelsea, man, because I'm still a massive fan of the guy.
And I'm actually very sorry that I brought him up, because don't people start shitting on him in the chats, because I also will like fight to the death for him, because some of y'all are a little too extra on the Sterling hate and y'all need to relax. But
I'm with you.
anyway, Zinchico and Gabby, like those dudes are killers, and why would you not want to be treated like so? And
Yeah.
so it's in Pep's thing, it's literally like, hey, bro, you mention about anything about your playtime, I'm gonna sit you 2 games just because you asked. And
Yeah.
it's intense. That's really intense. And there are people who just like blindly follow Pep, and I've been like, bro, it has to be intense. Like, and I feel like Sterling kind of said that it's intense, but he said it in a very nice way, I thought. And everyone was like, how dare you say anything bad about them? And that's literally what it was. Anything. You can't say you were unhappy in the slightest bit. And it's just like, everyone's unhappy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you feel about your job? Are you happy at your job 1,000% of the time? Like, bro, come on. Like, they're humans. Like, relax.
100%. So that being said, do you feel that we've upgraded?
Oh, big time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We're a substantially better team overall.
Yeah, just from a playing perspective, yeah. I think this was a hard thing to say to fans of other teams that I've spoke to when they would ask me about City, because I would say to them, I think there's another level that we could go to, you know.
Yeah.
And from another fan's perspective, watching us just lapping up trophies, you know, the idea of Man City going to another level is really, really scary.
Yeah. And
you know, but I think we've done it, and I think we'll continue to do it, because I just think what the missing piece was just absolute clinical strikers, and I think we got 2, mate.
No, big
So
time.
yeah. So
studs.
while mate, I hate seeing players leave City, and I hate it when people shit on them when they go,
Hmm.
because you know what I did for many years as I watched the legends of teams like Manchester United when they were in their pomp, when they were winning everything. When some of their players would hit that 30-year-old age, 31, their fans would turn on them like that, and it used to make me sick. Like, do you not know what these players have done for your team?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be quietly encouraging them out the door, not you know,
Yes. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
slamming the door behind them.
You
You know what I mean?
deserve better.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. Like
Please
there needs to be
go.
some diplomacy about it, and
Yeah.
respect, instead of oh, he's past it, get rid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
And also half of the people who are slagging them off, is that, did I use that term right? How do you, what
well
is it?
done. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
slagging him off. Yeah.
Yeah. They're over 30 themselves. Like, bro, I'm 33. Like, I can't like call Kevin old. Like, I'm not gonna call
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne old. Like, have you like people just confuse me. I was trying to think of
No,
something, but my brain broke because just thinking about how stupid people can be sometimes, it's
mate.
just
People are so passionate about this game that their mind doesn't always work
just
properly. You know what I
melts.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. All right. Cool. So yeah, so you're really happy with the start of the season, as am
Very.
I.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the better starts we've had since Pep's been here.
Yeah,
So to be
especially compared to last
one
year.
point off the top, 6 games in, but it is a big game, Spurs.
Mhm.
So again, this whole live stream is assuming we're going to play on Saturday.
Hey, I'm down for some role playing.
All right, cool. All right, we're going to switch gears and talk about Spurs now. We're almost about 30 minutes in, so we're going great here. So, chat, if you will switch gears to Spurs for me, we'd love to respond to any of your thoughts
Ooh.
on how to approach this game, hopefully on Saturday. So, this is how I'm going to pose this, and I'll pose it to you, Crunk. Um, I see two legitimate options, and then I've got one really wild one for you. All right.
Ooh. Okay.
Option
Okay.
number one, um, which is essentially leaping off the last couple of times we've played Spurs, in which we have gone for maximum control of the game. You know, that false nine-ish
Yeah.
approach, right? With the one twist being, now you've got Haaland. Now you've got somebody who, when we get those one or two chances in a game where we try to play like that, where we just control it and then we probe, we don't usually end up with that many chances. But now we have somebody who only maybe needs one or two chances to put the ball in the back of the net. So, do we go for the total control of the game and hope that Haaland pokes one or two in of the chances that he gets? Or do we go like what I would call not Nottingham Forest style, which is where we had both strikers on the pitch, right? And it was a bit more loose, yeah,
Mm.
less
Mm.
control. We sacrifice a bit of control for a big
Nice.
presence
Like
right around the
this.
box there. So those are the two legitimate ones. Which one are you leaning towards?
The latter.
Okay,
I in the
okay.
podcast I actually predicted a 5-2 score line with City winning, and my whole thing is okay. So every time we play Tottenham, Pep always tries to do the control, and then they do go, and it's change it up, bro. Like like we actually have the players that can run and go at them, and if we let a few go, we just need to score more than them. Uh, if you look at our goal difference, what is it? We've scored 20 and
Yep,
allowed 13
we've
or
allowed
four.
six.
Sorry. So it is 14. It's cool.
Yep.
So either way, we're scoring way more than we're allowing, and I feel like that unfortunately might have to be the vibe that we're doing this year. Is just, hey, some games are going to be tight. You guys like the nice, clean control. This is not that team anymore. We're kind of changing. Like by the end of the year, I kind of see this being very similar to when Leroy and Sterling were just like running rampant.
Okay.
And we are just like pinging the ball around because if you look at it, a lot of the people who have made it through are very good handling the ball with their feet and
Yep.
being able to pass it around and can even score if they want. So Pep's team is more basketball than you would actually, a lot of English fans, I feel like, would think. Like,
Mhm.
when I watch them play, it, so yeah, I just see
So
them.
you think they'll
Sorry.
go for it? You think
Yes,
two strikers?
yes, I would love that.
Okay.
Five at
Cool.
the
Cool.
back.
So I'll give you the number 3 option, which was my wild option.
Yeah,
And I don't know, listening to you and your vibe, you might go for this.
I might. I might. No, hey, they don't call me Crump Chocolate for nothing, baby.
True. All right. Number 3, wild option.
Yes.
Just give the ball to Spurs, right?
Literally let them Spurs
Let
themselves.
let them have it and see if they know what to do with it, right? Sit back. This is the most un-Guardiola thing ever. But when a team has your number, sometimes you try something wild, right? So picture us just letting Spurs have the ball. We sit back. They really don't know how to function with the ball. They're very much a
No.
countering team, yeah.
Uh-huh.
They'll all look at themselves like, what the fuck? Right? So we've got the element of confusion and surprise. Um, and then the first time they come into our half and they turn the ball over, long
Boom.
ball over the top, Erling Haaland 1-0. Yeah? And we just do that for the rest of the game.
And this is why you guys are the Podfathers. This right here. Like,
Because we're idiots, is what I'm saying.
no, I know. That is like chaotic brilliance. Like, I one day aspire to think of something like that, where it's just like, all right, I dare you to. I dare you. I dare you. You can't. I know you can't. And
You
it's
will
just like, that's
never
like
do it.
ultimate hill. That'd be like, people would hate City so much if they parked the bus because people would be like, they hate it when teams do it against them. Why would they do it against Tottenham? But no, that's the chaotic energy I am here for. Like,
Okay. So I can
yes.
write your name down next
I
to
mean,
that there.
I will say I do prefer the like open and play, but
Okay.
if somehow Pep ends up doing that, the very defensive style, I'm here for it, and I'm
You'd
going to get
enjoy that.
lit, and I'm going to tweet you like a trillion times. So be prepared for that.
I'm semi joking, but I think there's a lot of what you said earlier before when you got a chance to tell me your opinion before I went. There's a lot of that about what I said in that you were talking about basketball and us
Mhm.
having the talent and the players to be able to play that way.
Mhm.
And I totally agree with you, especially with Erling Haaland,
Yeah,
because he's an absolute freak, mate.
yeah,
If they're gonna leave us space in behind them, just send him through. You know what I mean? I think we if we all had to describe our favorite Pep era, it would have to be that era that you described with Sane, Sterling, you know, whether it be Aguero in the middle or
exactly. Yeah.
Jesus in the middle when we were just so free flowing.
Hmm.
Um, the wingers finding each other across the box. It was
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. Um, I suspect Pep didn't think that was sustainable, which is why we play the way we do now. Um, sustainable long term, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we do all long for something like that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's not so. I don't think it's so far fetched, particularly with the personnel that we have.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I want to do now is go through some of the chat's thoughts on what to do with Spurs. So, first of all, City Slacker says points this side of the World Cup are critical. Totally agree.
Yeah, big time.
I totally agree because the World Cup is. I keep using this word wild card, but it is because if we come back with the most injuries from that event, we're screwed. You know that's the thing. Whichever team comes back with the most injuries from that is
Yeah.
in a world of trouble. So I totally agree with City Slacker there.
Well, and there was a random tweet that obviously was a rumor, but the rumor was Pep is going to get another war chest for the
In
winter
January.
transfer because of the World Cup. And people
Okay.
say that that sounds stupid, but that makes a lot of sense. If people are hurt, we're
Mhm.
going to have a star or two pop up, and it's probably going to be not the person everyone thinks, but it would be
Yeah.
a great time to pick up another solid player, or maybe even two, like because the rumor was another 100, I think. So, or maybe it's just 50. I don't. I'm in my brain. I guess maybe it was 100, but I think it just said war chest. It just kept it very vague and very general. But I want another 100 million. Like, let's bring in two more, just like studs, and just
Yeah.
make everyone melt and cry. And yes,
We all love a war chest, don't we?
yes.
All right, let's. Muditha. I'll just go with that. I'll leave it there. 3 at the back or nah?
Uh,
You're a 3 at the back guy. I am not, because I think that's a defender too many in the back.
no, I understand.
Let's see. Oh, Hoops Collector over under on a Heung-min Son hat trick in 20 minutes. So this is everybody's fear, right? Son just always pops off against us.
See, that's bad juju. That's that bad medicine. Like, why even speak it in? Like, change our mindset. We are the back-to-back champions. Like, we are going in and we're stomping them, bro. Like none of this. What happens if? No, bro. There's no ifs. Like, we're the champs. Act like
Chris. Same vibes from Chris Hernandez. He's worried about Son. At least it'll be good for his fantasy team. Franklin Cap, no joke. I want to see a Kanji this week, and he looks beast. What did you think? Did you get a chance to watch him?
So I technically was multitasking, let's say that. But I was watching it, and yeah, no, he looked good. He looked silky, and I like the way that he looks on the ball. He wasn't trying to do too much, but if he saw something, he went for it. What I loved that I saw is they would pass it to him. He'd pass it to the right person, and he would back off to the right positions. Like, he at least got the basics of Pep football, it appeared, on the defensive side down. So that's the stuff that I love to see, is like what they do after.
A Mangala-esque debut.
Hey, plug the new episode.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's fly through these. Okay. Adam says, wouldn't mind us being a little physical with Kane and Son, getting their heads and get them off their games.
It's not really our style, though.
Do you think we're a physical team or not?
I mean, we can be, but I don't think Pep likes us going into tackles because we could potentially hurt ourselves or whatever. Like, so I just, like, obviously we have the DS tackles, John Stones, like, they go in for like crunching tackles in the open space when there's not a potential for like a dangerous penalty kick or something like that, or free kicks, sorry. But other than that, no, I
thought Fernandinho was the best at that.
Oh, he was great. Hey, and Rodri seems to be picking up great. Like, he got a lot of fouls off, but and nothing happened.
The dark arts, mate.
Yeah,
the dark
I love
arts.
it.
Love it.
I love it.
Let's see. Would the total control option involve double sixes? That's coming from Stanley. So, not in my view. Not traditional sixes anyway. You might see a Bernardo floating about in the middle to help Rodri out.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd call that double sixes or not. But no, I'm not envisaging two like a Phillips Rodri.
Oh, the double pivot, is that what people
is?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. If we see a double pivot, then we're doing that defensive chaos theory of yours.
Okay. Defensive chaos theory, I love it.
Yeah.
Jason, Nebs, Wagwan Generals.
Hey, what's up, my
Wagwan
guy?
Jason.
Wagwan.
Up in Canada. Nice one. Let's see. Oh, okay. City Slackers sort of mentioning what I said. He wants to see Bernardo closer to Rodri, keep Kane from shredding us through the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
agree with that, mate.
So another one of my I one thing that we do have in common, we do have like our random theories, and my random theory is Bernardo, if he's going to stay, he wants to play offensively. He doesn't want to
Mm,
play next to Rodri, running around being the effort guy. Like, yes, he
okay.
can do it. Yes, he can be great, but that's not what he's known for. He's known for like slicing and dicing and creating opportunity and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think that's very true of a few of our players, mate. Is that they are so versatile and so talented that Pep likes to use them in different scenarios.
Hmm.
Like Bernardo, I swear to you, he's the first name on the team sheet against Liverpool just because of what he
Yeah.
does in
In his effort. Yeah.
chewing up ground in the middle of the
Hmm.
park, right?
Hmm.
You need that against them. Uh, he also becomes like we're describing here, the help for Rodri to play through that very dangerous part of the pitch when Liverpool will really
Close
crush you
in. Yeah,
and
yeah,
win the ball from you to help us get through that part of the field. Bernardo, again, he's critical to that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I never thought he was going to be sold. With them being our biggest rival, like when and there's a certain player you have to play against them or else the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
Why would you ever sell that guy? I don't think you would unless you were just
Barcelona just don't have the
money whipped
money.
like crazy.
Barcelona just didn't have the money. I knew
Yeah.
that's why it just kept because they kept buying people, but also they kept their interest in him and they kept the offers up. So I know that it was just they were just technically tampering. Like the entire Spanish media was tampering for Barcelona the entire summer, and it's
Yeah,
absolutely
100%.
insane.
Yeah.
And so, but I knew they didn't have the money, and more hodgepodge theories from Crunk. I feel like they would have did us like Dan Levy did with Harry Kane. Like
Mm,
if we said 80 million, but I know they said 80 million because they knew they couldn't pay it. And if they try to bring 80, I think they would have bumped it up to 100.
yeah. The reverse Dan Levy.
Yes.
They've done a reverse Dan Levy on us. All right. So I think some people are actually because we're going quite back in the chat here.
Yeah, yeah, no worries,
Some
no
people are
worries.
actually reacting to my mad theory.
No,
Um,
it's brilliant, honestly. Well, unless
where
they're
was
saying,
it? Oh, Johnny Metallica is saying he's all for that.
well, with a
That
name like
has to be
Metallica, you
it
have to
has
be.
to be in reference to my wild and yeah, City
Yeah,
Slacker says rope a dope them mofos.
like bro, five
Yeah,
two. That's what I'm saying. Like
they
let's run back and forth. Oh well, I mean,
yeah.
I guess rope a dope is
Yeah. Just confound them, he says. Brilliant. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Muditha says do a Conte on Conte. That's what I'm
that
saying.
that would
That's
be
what I'm
brilliant.
saying.
That would be great.
All right, JRX is in the chat. He loves this mashup, as do we, mate.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
once again, this is my friend Crunk Chocolate. He's off Shades of Blue podcast.
yes.
The Shady Gang. Where can they find you, mate?
Where all of the streaming platforms you can do Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Last FM, Buzzsprout. I don't know all of them. We're also on YouTube where you can watch our videos and people who are YouTubers like watch our videos. I feel like we're an entertaining bunch. It's four of us, sometimes five of us. So someone has some kind of entertainment value at moments. We're all very different personalities. Obviously, I am very much a personality. My other four, they are personalities, but not like as much as I am. They are normal humans with normal human names, and they are great people, and they're actually the brilliant ones. I am very lucky to have
Just the ringleader.
joined with them, and I feel very apprehensive saying that they give me all the positive affirmations that anyone could ever ask. But like, I just I've podcasted before. The other stuff I did was not football. I wanted to be happy, and so I am just happy to be with the guys that I'm with, and we talk about men's and women's YouTube channel, Shades of Blue podcast. Hit us with a subscribe. I'm Crunk Chocolate. That's my @handle. Yeah, I should pop up. There aren't many Crunk Chocolates, I don't think. I don't know. I don't really look into that stuff. I don't really care. But yeah, please, all the love. Again, I appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah, my pleasure, mate. It's fun to watch you guys grow and watch the personalities emerge. From
Yes,
each of you.
definitely.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's really cool. It's
yeah,
really
really
cool.
great.
Yeah, I was very much in the background when Noisy Neighbors started. Like Joey was very much the front man, and that's how I wanted it because I was super nervous about it, and it was more his idea than mine to start it. So I wanted him to be the front man of it, and then I sort of found my my personality in it,
Yeah.
and it's good. It's good fun. It's good fun.
No, you guys are great. You guys are the Podfathers for a reason. I've gushed over you before this pod started, but I have no problem saying it out loud. Like, all love. You've been great. You retweet our stuff, and like that means a lot in like big things. Like we have like what 500 followers. You have what 30,000 plus. Like it means a lot.
Not quite. Nah.
What?
Nah.
No.
No.
What?
Anyways, enough of that. I
look
really
this up right now.
I really appreciate that. This has been very enjoyable. Let's keep going. What is that saying here? Good job on pronouncing my name, Brew. That's from Mudita.
Hey,
Come on.
Nailed
I'm a man of
Look at-
culture.
He's
I'm a man of
cultured.
culture.
He knows things.
Hoops Collector says about Spurs, I need them to prove me wrong first, as they are definitely a bogey team. Yeah. We really struggle with the teams that pack it in and have real quality in the front line counterattacking. That's why I tell you what, I'm a bit nervous about United. I'm a bit nervous.
Okay.
They've got two really good results for them.
I'm not really worried too much about Tottenham. I see people in the chat. Sorry. What is this about Podbean? I don't know.
Podbean.
Do you have like what is this about Podbean? I don't really look too deep into everything. I'm sorry to just completely derail. And obviously, you can maybe we can talk about this after.
No, I'll tell the Podbean story if people are asking about it. So when we first started the podcast, we were looking for what podcast apps do we put ourselves on, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't have much money. We were trying to get away with doing this as cheaply as we possibly could.
Naturally.
So we noticed that some platforms you had to pay to be on, some you didn't. So we tried to get on all the free ones. But one day, again, very early on, somebody messaged us and says, hey, I use Podbean. Can you guys please be on Podbean so I can add you to my podcast? So we were like, yeah, cool, we'll add you. So we got onto the Podbean website, and it was going to be like $10 a month for us to host. Well, not host, but be published on Podbean, right? Uh-huh. And at this point, literally, we had like 30 listeners, like no more than that, right?
Yeah.
So fuck it, we'll go on Podbean. So we started paying the $10 a month to be on Podbean, and like 2 months later, we checked it. We checked the stats on Podbean. We had 2 downloads.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's tough.
So we binned it off. We binned off Podbean real quick, and just for fun, ever since then, at the end of our shows, when we talk about what apps we're on, where you can find us, we always say, "Do on Podbean," because we're not on there.
Oh, it's a running joke. You guys are trying to bring me in a running joke. Oh, is this you guys being like, how much of a noisy neighbor listener is he? Is this what you guys are doing?
It's a 6-year-old joke, man. 6-year-old running joke.
Well, yeah, fuck Podbean, bro. Like, we got here. Yeah.
Oh, let's do this, mate. Yeah, Johnny agrees with me when I was talking about Fernandinho's physicality.
Oh
Nobody
yeah, no
replaced
time,
Fernandinho.
bro.
Yeah.
The way he would foul people and then be able to just like walk away and get away with it, it just astounded me.
Tyler Westling, Jude Bellingham in if Bernardo leaves this summer. What are your thoughts on Jude Bellingham, mate?
I would. Everyone's real hyped on him. I see why people are, but Dortmund is kind of just like an open canvas. So of course he's going to shine there.
Yeah.
And at City, under the structure and stuff like that, he has the talent to do great. But like, does he? But I do think, and our Tarek has been really big on this, and then someone else, I wish I could remember who it was in the last episode, followed through with, because we got a kanji now too. And Phil, he was the one who whispered something to Haaland in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
like there could be like 3 City players just around Bellingham and being like, hey, here's a list of things that you're going to love about us. This isn't tampering because there's no proof, because we're in a huddle right now. No one can see what we're saying. And let's do this, bro. Like, let's make some money. Let's win some trophies.
Yeah.
You'll be happier in England. So let's do this.
100%. No, I'm a fan of Jude Bellingham, mate. He's going to be a hot property, though. Like, loads are going to go in for this guy, I think. You can bet Liverpool will be sniffing around him for sure.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, a young, dynamic player in the England setup. It's always good to have homegrown players like that. If Erling Haaland, if he's good enough for Erling Haaland, then he's good enough for me. So
I do. So did you guys look into if we could make Gomez a homegrown player due to his very obvious English appearance? Like, did you guys do some research? Is there a loophole?
That's a good throwback, but and we were treading on thin ice with that whole theme, bro.
But bro,
Judging-
like, look at them though. In England
I
and
know.
Spain, they definitely have a thing going on. Like, you can see the connection in Sergio Gomez. Like, I'm just saying. Like, it's
No, he's the most. I don't know if he's the most English, but he's definitely the most un-Spanish
yeah.
looking player. Yeah, that's probably the better way to
that's
say
probably
it.
the better way. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people wanted to talk about what happened at Old Trafford tonight. I don't know if you saw this. United playing on Thursday nights again. They lost to Real Sociedad. David Silva's Real Sociedad, and the Real Sociedad fans did the Poznan at the final whistle.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Am I really a real Sociedad fan right now? Like,
Yeah,
am
we
I
gotta get the
gonna buy
kits,
a
mate.
second
We gotta get the
kit?
kits.
Like, what? Wow. Oh, I
Brilliant.
love that.
Yes, David Silva celebrating again at Old Trafford. Love it. The Poznan at the Swamp.
Like, that's
Loves-
crazy. That's so crazy.
Love seeing the Poznan videos.
I can't wait to
Brilliant.
hop on to social media. I haven't had my phone for a very long time, so I need to catch up on a lot.
Yeah, there's some good content out tonight, mate.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Muditha says, you think there's any chance Calvin Phillips can do a hybrid 6-8 if Bernardo leaves next year?
No.
No, you don't see him in the 8 at all.
It doesn't. So I know it was just a Houston closed practice, and they were just like goofing about, but you can still like watch how people handle the ball, and you got to take practice as serious. What I will say is, I used to hate on Riyadh a lot. I'm
You're not
still
alone.
not the biggest fan. But seeing him live and how he really does handle the ball and the things that he does, like, it was mind blowing. Him and Zhao, and you could really see the people who are really great, and you could see the people who are struggling. And Calvin Phillips was one of the dudes who was very much struggling to play the the drills that City
Yeah,
were
yeah. The
doing at the
rondo.
intensity. Yes, especially he was
Yeah.
very much struggling in the rondo.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
have to be a very, very technical player for Pep Guardiola in an 8 position. So back to Mahrez, mate. What do you think now after seeing him live, and now you see some of those touches when
yeah,
he's on the right wing? He's just sick, mate.
and
Just
he's great, but like seeing it in person and seeing just the ball how it's moving as fast as it is, and then he's just like boop, just like catch it with my foot, and like in my
insane.
brain, I'm trying to figure out how do you do that? Do you like move your foot back to like kiss it, like try to catch it? Like do you kick into it to like counter it? Like how?
Yeah,
But
it
he still
defies
frustrates me when he
physics.
plays.
Defies physics.
It does.
Yeah, softest touch ever.
You're like, man.
Street ball cage player in his youth. Yeah,
Oh, and that makes a lot of
you could.
sense. You can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
Um, Not sure if Sergio Gomez or Ian Curtis. So I'm interested in if you know who Ian Curtis is.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, a lot of stuff you'll see as a City fan is going to have a reference to music that is from Manchester, bands and
Yeah.
artists
Yeah.
from
Yeah. Yeah.
the last 60, 70 years, right? So um, there was a band called Joy Division.
Yes. Oh, I know Joy Division. Yes,
Yeah.
I know Joy Division.
So
I
Ian Curtis was the lead singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So
And
I just don't know his name. My apologies, people who probably like lost their shit for a second. So there was a movie someone told me to watch. It was about the Manchester music scene.
yeah,
I
24-hour party people.
Yes, I watched that
Yeah.
movie and it
Oh,
was
cool.
wild. I was not
Yeah.
expecting all of it, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I'd already moved to the States by the time that era was happening.
Mm.
So like the bands like Stone Roses, Happy
Yeah, that
Mondays,
would have been
Joy
so cool.
Division,
All that would have been so cool.
The Smiths even.
Yeah.
I was already over here, and I would have probably been in the right age bracket to really enjoy that music if I lived back in England, but I
Yeah.
really just wasn't hearing it over here. So I had to come to terms with all that music later on in my life.
Yeah.
But it still hits. It still hits because
Yeah, it's great.
music, and I'm sure you'll agree. It There's always a part of it that tells you where it's from. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you connect to it
Yeah.
because you know it's from a certain place geographically,
Yeah.
and the people of that area. Um, like without going into a long story, I found for a kid of my age living in the States in the mid '90s, having Oasis sort of blow up and just be a massive band.
No, I can imagine.
Like it was huge for me, really huge, because when I found out they were from Manchester and they were City fans, and I was still a young kid who had left there and still didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Like it was really somebody for me to connect with. Like, oh, this is what my life might have been like had I stayed where I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I know literally exactly what you mean because I'm from a very small area in Iowa, which is like eastern Iowa. And basically, so Ricky Davis, he was an NBA player. He came from our area.
Yep.
Like he was the fucking man. Like everyone would pack the schools to watch him play. And I know he could have had a better career, but what he did was still really cool. We have like Craig David, who is an NFL Hall of Famer. He went to the high school I went to. Seth Rollins, he's a wrestler. Like even that, and hearing them be like Davenport, Iowa, like stuff like that. That's really cool. And then even like a really silly thing is the show So You Think You Can Dance, like a dance competition. One of the girls who made it pretty far in the show, she was from this area, and so whatever Eastern Iowa somehow gets, because normally they get shit on, like so like whenever I hear our area in a positive way, I'm like cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, cool. Let's see. Chris Hernandez says if Eddie Howe can bring in 2 clones and Sergio Gomez can be homegrown. Did you see that when we played Newcastle? He brought on 2 substitutes that look exactly like him. It was hysterical.
So it was Charlie, and he actually asked, he was like, how many giant white men does Newcastle have? Because they just kind of like replaced ones for literally the dude who looked exactly like the last dude, and it was
Yeah.
very trippy. So I did notice that, but I didn't look that too much into it. I kind of just like, move on, bro. That was weird.
Listen, we're going to wrap this up, but
Yes.
one thing I know that you are famous for on your podcast is score predictions.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you for one. Should this match happen on Saturday? I did hear one earlier that I think I remember, but are you sticking with that?
Yeah, I will stick with it. If the match happens, I would love to see a 5-2. I would love to see a very open, fun match where Pep is literally just like, go for it, guys.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Yep. While I love your enthusiasm, I think it's going to go the other way, mate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think Conte is just going to kill it. Just everybody back. And I think Pep is going to. He'll have told himself that he brought in the missing piece. That it wasn't really his strategy that was the issue in beating Spurs. It was the execution in front of goal. I think he would tell you that we create enough chances against Spurs. We just don't take enough chances against Spurs. So with a massive upgrade at the number 9, I think he's going to try that heavy control game and just hope that, the 1 or 2 chances that Erling Haaland gets that he buries. And I'm looking at like a 1-0 City. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that we'll win.
Oh, you see, again, this is why you're the podfather. You just like milk fat. I had no idea which way you're going. I thought you were going to say Tottenham was winning, and you're like, no, City's going to win by 1.
No, City will win, but it'll be so tight, mate. I think it's a 1-goal game for sure. So so thank you, Mohammed. Thanks for the hearts, mate. Hopefully you think we'll win as well. Muditha says, ain't no way in hell Pep's going for chaos.
JRX can hope.
JRX has gone for 3-2 City, so he's in your camp, mate. He's in your camp. Yeah. I would put that in your camp.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. 3-1 to City, says Johnny. So brilliant. Listen, thanks first of all to the chat for playing a part of this. You always do. You always give us stuff to talk about.
Delightful bunch of people.
Yeah, they are funny people as well.
Great
so
humans. Wow.
Yeah, I love it. And then I'm going to thank you, Crunk Chocolate, for joining, mate. It's been a real pleasure. Hopefully we can do this again.
Yes.
Let's have some of the other lads on as well.
They would love that.
Yeah, cool. We got a good thing going, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. See you guys.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Ta-ra.